us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader in the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. 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 Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Close the doors for me for a quick moment. I want everybody to remain standing quickly. How many of y'all really received something from the word of the Lord tonight? Listen, when you study scripture, you will notice that whenever God did something in the lives of the patriarchs of old, the patriarchs would pause, they would set up an altar, and they would offer up sacrifice. I asked each and every one of you how many of y'all received something from the word of the Lord. Everyone in this place said these words: I did. Because of your acknowledgement of what God did in word, there is an obligation that is attached to that acknowledgement. In biblical days, they offered livestock, grain. That was a type of currency. Note, if you will, I did not say money. I said currency. And this is what God is saying for at least 1,000 of you in the building. And this is simple. I'm not going to challenge you the way Bishop did, but I know that there's 1,000 individuals under the sound of my voice that can do what I'm about to challenge you all to do. This is simple. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge will be $20,000. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge you all to do will be $20,000. Now, for those of us who are on the dais, I'm taking you higher, so put it back. I'm a strong believer that leaders lead not only in time, not only in talent, but also in treasure. Leaders lead in time, talent, and treasure. I was taught a long time ago that it costs to sit up here. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on the, take your phone and stick it on the bucket.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason returns to the scene of the crime. All right, let me just get right to it. We got a topic for this. Hey! And if you want to share your thoughts, please call in. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on it, okay? On tonight's topic. Tonight's topic, the church of supply and demand. A deeper look at the cost of religious narcissism. Hold on. I'm not saying Reverend Sapp, was his Marvin Sapp? I'm not saying the brother is a narcissist. This topic may not apply to him at all. Because I want to point something out. God, the source of all that is, right? The foundational reality for all reality, is incomprehensibly, infinitely wealthy and does not need anything from us, not even our prayers. And then at the same time, I'm going to say, as black folk, we are the magic based on our belief, based on our participation. We are the miracle. Now, you heard what the brother was saying. Let me just make it clear. Churches need our money. They need our support because churches are nonprofit organizations that do a lot of good things in the community. Okay? When your great grandmama can't get into an old folks home because the one she wants to go to is full or whatever. Churches pay her rent and buy her food and get her clothes. So we're not here to besmirch the good deeds and good works that many churches do. There are many churches out there that take care of a lot of folks, right? That pay light bills, electric bills, give cars, give money. There are many churches out there that do good deeds in the name of God. But what I don't like, right, is the manipulation piece. It was a man's idea to write in the Bible, who would rob God? Who would rob God? First off, God can't be robbed. So that let me know that was a man writing that book, writing in that verse off top. God can't be robbed. Okay? I just want folk to be honest. Pastors, we need your money to run this operation. Say that. Don't gaslight. Don't guilt. Don't shame. And don't threaten to lock the doors. Now, even I heard the brother's response. And his response, he said, well, maybe I was a little too aggressive. Right? I got you. I understand that. But you can't be aggressive when even the spiritually anointed and appointed are still works in progress and subject to the contamination that the power that comes from the people brings to the pulpit. Sometimes you get outside yourself because you have power. The people gave you that power, Pastor. Which leads us to our topic, the church of supply and demand, a deeper look at the cost of religious narcissism. You think narcissists aren't in the church? You think toxic, broken, traumatized people aren't preaching? And the same tactics a narcissist will use in an intimate relationship, they'll use in that relationship. Listen. Between pastor and parishioner. 1-800-920-1580. Divine epigenetics. Did churches weaponize generational curses to methylate trauma in your DNA? Question. If ancestral trauma is heritable, right? Diaz, 2014, are generational curses a theological cover for the clergy's epigenetic blackmail? I know you're not ready for this tonight. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Get to your phone lines. Get ready. I want to know, has the church abused you? And has that abuse seeped into your intimate relationship? Come on now, 1-800-920-1580. Empirical insight. Here's that word again, glucocorticoid. I said it right this time. Glucocorticoid receptors mutations in religiously abused individuals correlate with 34% higher tithing compliance. There is something there, right? Glucocorticoid receptors mutations in religiously abused individuals correlate with 34% higher tithing compliance. Spiritual blackmail. Ooh, no. Narcissistic Eucharist. Is communion just projective identification with a cosmic abuser? I know you don't want to hear it put this way, but you thought he was going to say what he said. I'm not saying this is about him, but there are those out there, men of the cloth, right, that are wolves underneath that cloth. You better tell the truth. 1-800-920-1580. Question. When you ingest the body of Christ, are you internalizing divine narcissism to reenact childhood parentification? No, this is a tough topic tonight. I know you don't want to hear it put this way, but I got to do it. fMRI shows Eucharistic rituals activate the same insular cortex regions as Stockholm Syndrome. See, the voice of reason is here to do this work. Listen, if you want to grow, you have to be challenged in what you believe. Somebody told you get to believe and walk on easy street. That's just not how life works. You need spiritual resilience. And if you can't even have difficult conversations like this, how can you develop it? Quantum excommunication. Can retrocausal prayer erase your family's salvation? 1-800-920-1580. Question. If time is nonlinear, according to Campbell's My Big Toe, does praying against ancestors' sins collapse their salvation into alternative realities? Here's the empirical insight. 48% of intercession-focused congregants report retroactive guilt. If they're already forgiven, why are you guilty for them? Come on. 1-800-920-1580. Are y'all ready for tonight's topic? That empirical insight came from Theological PTSD study from 2023. Temporal heresy, retrocausal damnation. spiritual eugenics. Spiritual eugenics? Is it even possible? 1-800-920-1580 is equally yoked. Theology just, I don't even want to, I don't even want to say it, because this is a lot. But this is the conversation we must have. Let me say this. I do believe that there are ordained pastors out there. I do believe that there are divinely guided pastors out there. But I don't believe that they are without flaw. Right? And I do believe that when human beings are in the presence of power, if they are not healed internally, that power can, and in most cases, will corrupt them. Do you understand? They're going to take your money, and many of them will take your honey. Can we just be, if we want to be honest? See, this is why the church has been declining in many years. Because you can't be broken and still sit on your high horse and condemn the people that you need to build you up. You can't say they're degenerate. You can't say that they lack class. You can't say any of those. The Bible says, come as you are. And most of the judgment comes from where they are. Sitting in that pulpit. Sitting in them pews. Can we be honest? Does that mean the church cannot reprimand the people that are wayward and lost? Many prophets did it. Many prophets came in and reprimanded the wayward, lost folk. But when you do it from a place of spiritual arrogance, spiritual conceit, spiritual classism, because I'm me and touched by the hand of the Lord, I am a better person than you. That's not how it works. We're going to talk about it tonight. Get to your phone lines. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580, VOR.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Before the fire, Altadena was a real-life Wakanda. A thriving black oasis just 15 miles from downtown Los Angeles. 80% black residents were homeowners, building intergenerational wealth against the odds. It was a hub of black-owned businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. It stood as a symbol of black resilience and economic independence. Then, in a matter of hours, it was gone. The fire tore through homes, swallowed businesses, and left behind a painful void. But was it just an unstoppable act of nature, or was negligence involved? Did officials ignore early warning signs? Were the response efforts delayed or insufficient? What role, if any, did corporate or government failures play? Survivors are demanding answers. Don't miss our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall. The Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting. On Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center, 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Join Dominic DePrima, Nee Cordelai Corte, James Farr, Tavis Smiley, and a panel of survivors, community leaders, and experts as we commemorate Day 100 since the wildfires flared up. And we discuss where we go from here. It's KBLA's Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting Town Hall. Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center in Pasadena. Light refreshments to follow. Admission is free, but sign-up is required at our KBLA1580.com website. This is a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got got your black.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Show 25 minutes after the hour, y'all. Our next guest has been all over the internet lately, and he's here with us today to set the record straight. He's an award-winning singer, bishop, and pastor of the Chosen Vessel Church in Fort Worth, Texas. Joining us this morning is a friend of the show, Marvin Sapp. And good morning. Thank you for joining this morning.
Thank you.
And listen, let me say this. I'm not here to exploit the situation. You are my friend.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm a real friend. I'm a loyal friend. You understand? And I haven't even talked to you this week.
No,
because I know your phone was blowing up, but I had sense enough that everything that you sat here and said during the commercial break, I already knew. You don't have to explain that to me. I grew up in the church. And in your own way. Let's start with the attacks that are on you and the death threats on you and your family.
Well, let me just start.
Just whatever way you want to start.
Let me just start by saying first, Ricky, I thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
I thank you for the opportunity to be able to come on your show and for you to use your platform to give me a chance to just, add some context, some context and clarity to, a clip that, a whole lot of people have seen. Sadly, one of the things that has happened is, people have created a narrative that is absolutely not true. Number one, the narrative was created, that I raised money at my church, that I kept the people at my church hostage until I raised $40,000 for me. That's the narrative that has been shared, that I locked folks up at my church, that, I made them give $40,000 and I wouldn't allow them to leave until they gave it to me. And to be honest with you, that is absolutely false.
Yeah.
Number one, that offering was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors.
Yeah.
I said shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. They've taken issue with my tone. And I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that. I can apologize for that. But
that's what I'm saying. That ain't no bad man. That's a good man. Man, when you see people acknowledge their wrongdoings in a remorseful, contrite, honest, transparent, and open kind of way, you got to give them credit for that. So I want people to know, because people get sensitive when you start talking about their pastor and you start talking about their belief system. But let me tell you something. Don't think the church is purified of generational curses. Don't think pastors, reverends, deacons, bishops are not still whips, works in progress. Do you understand? All I said, like I framed it in the beginning, say up front this business. And I like the way he said it when he asked for the offering. He said, hey, man, it takes a lot to run this thing. So I wasn't mad at him. But if we look at Trump's spiritual advisor, Paula White, who I think her name is Paula White, who is Trump's spiritual advisor and also T.D. Jake's spiritual goddaughter. She learned from him. She said, give me $1,000 so I can open up these 7 supernatural miracles for you. That's a little different than we need this money to run this nonprofit organization known as a church, 501c3. When we come forward, you think the setup is done? I got callers on the line. They want to talk. I want to talk to them, but we've got more to break down. Let's get it.
No, it might sound crazy. Crazy. It's all right. Take a seat. Hold on.
Time to admit it.
We should admit it.
I'm so addicted.
You see, he's taking my heart. Showed me the right way.
There's no doubt about it. No, I'm lost without it.
You see, this love takes me higher. I get no
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. is being removed this week. Crews are painting over the street mural and taking down signs. Black Mayor Muriel Bowser says the change is partly due to White House pressure and plans for America's 250th birthday next year. A judge has ruled that former Decatur officer Mac Marquette must stand trial for the 2023 killing of a black man, Stephen Perkins. The Alabama murder trial is set for June 9th. Black Atlanta Congresswoman Nikema Williams is stepping down as chair of Georgia's Democratic Party after it became a full-time paid role. While in the position, she served as an unpaid volunteer. The vice chair will lead for now. An ousted Black Washington, D.C. Councilmember Trayon White is running to reclaim his Ward 8 seat after being removed in February over conduct violations and a bribery indictment. He shared his re-election filing online. Over 24 candidates have filed so far. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Change the way you see the world at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Depart from their new Safari Excursions Depot and embark on a once-in-a-lifetime experience you'll never forget. Plus, every adventure helps support wildlife worldwide. Plan your visit to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park today.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Life blooms in beautiful ways. The Afia Center invites you to celebrate At the End with Red Gala, honoring the strength and resilience of Black women living with HIV. Join us for an evening of empowerment as we launch the Barbara Cambridge Scholarship and kick off Herstory Month with our theme, Life in Full Bloom. Your support helps create vital HIV programming and builds a future where every voice is heard and every story matters. The End with Red Gala, because every flower deserves to bloom. To learn more and to donate, visit theafiacenter.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me I am tired. I am weak. I am worn through the storm.
If you have ongoing exposure to controlling people, it's a virtual certainty that you're going to experience blurry boundaries, which is why I've created the extensive online course called This Is Me, Establishing Boundaries with the Controllers in Your Life. There's a link below that will give you all of the details, and I hope that you would find it therapeutic. I know that many of you have felt emotionally and relationally beat up by religious narcissists, and I'm going to address that theme here today. And I specifically want to talk with you about how religious narcissists will gaslight the daylights out of you. Now, before we get all the way into that, I want to kind of pull back and put a perspective on this. Let's keep in mind that narcissists operate with a lot of what I refer to as imperative thinking. And we go back to the dictionary and we remind ourselves that when something is imperative, it's very directive, very command-oriented, do this, don't do that. And we have the imperative words in our vocabulary: have to, must, can't, should, supposed to, ought to, got to, need to, had better. That's the imperative mindset. And as a result, narcissists are drawn towards all sorts of themes and systems that will foster that imperative way of thinking. Whether it's in the way that they manage themselves in businesses or organizations, there's a great deal of imperative inside of politics. Here's the way it has to be. According to me, it can't be any other way. Many times narcissists will approach parenting or family relations with that imperative mindset. And then, of course, we can go straight into religion.
Hey, listen, do you see the overlap? That's the point of the show. It's not necessarily about Marvin Sapp, but when somebody says shut the door, close the doors, close them. Close the doors. That's the imperative thinking, the imperative languaging. The prosperity gulag. Is tithing just neuroeconomic enslavement? When Malachi 3:10 triggers dopamine via coerced giving, is it celestial meth for the soul? Here's the empirical insight. Tithes activates the nucleus accumbens 18% more than cocaine. You feel good from tithing. There's your empirical insight. It's from 2011. Schott, right? Dopamine ties, spiritual addiction. See, I know, listen, nobody's ever brought this kind of data or information to you about how you feel once you do that, because we've been conditioned to behave in a certain way. So yes, there's a high after giving. But let me explain. God needs nothing from us. God is the giver in relation to us. There is absolutely nothing we can give God, but God gives us everything. Do you see? I'm just trying to point some things out. Okay, too many callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Folks want to talk. People been on the line. Let's make it happen. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. You're first up. Nazarene X, you there? Well, hold him. I'll just go to the next. Let's move to the next. Alexander from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York. BK, what up? You in the building? What are your thoughts?
Peace, Brother Zoe. I know this topic very well. I grew up in a church environment just like this. And this Marvin Sapp situation, it was triggering because that's something like the pastor I grew up with would try to do. But he was much more sinister than that. He was a master at psychology and a master manipulator. And a narcissist. So that behavior, his control, not only took place in your church, but bled into your regular life if you was a member of that church.
Keep going. I'm listening. Yeah, you experienced it. You've experienced abuse, spiritual abuse. You've experienced it in the church. Please say more.
Oh yeah, I've been in therapy many years because of this, and it messed with my self-esteem. It messed with my mindset. I grew up in this church. It was just very. There was a lot of unnatural things that happened.
Talk to us, brother.
Okay,
safe space.
Well, I was a smaller kid, so I was bullied by the bigger kids, and the adults sided with the bigger kids because I needed to bow down to them. But that's just one thing. I had ability. I was very versed in school, so I had abilities. I could do speeches and all that. I'm a professional artist, and they took advantage of that. The pastor, for example, his son wanted me to help him do a logo, and out of my kindness of my heart, I said, fine, I'll do it. I'll charge him some bread. But he didn't want to pay me, so I told the pastor about it. Come to find out, they conspired to get this logo out of me.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm a professional artist. My art was my refuge, and I took that seriously. So, and at that time, I just graduated college. I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't pay the building fund on time. He berated me in front of the whole church after I gave him that logo.
No. Hold on. Stop. He berated you. Well, first off, they're trying to get you to do something for the church. And typically in a good church with a solid pastor, typically they're going to pay someone like you for your services, even though you're a member of the church. I was never paid a dime at that church. Ooh. I did photography for that man. I've done the logos for that man. I've done speeches. I've done all that. It's so bad that, I feel like this. I studied metaphysics. I studied, occult and everything. Looking back on it, I do believe this man was a warlock. So stop right there. You telling me he shamed you in front of the church?
Of course.
That
was his normal technique, especially when it comes to men.
Wow.
Let's just say if you had if you was a young man, you had your life together, whatever. You have a pretty wife, whatever, right? He'll punk you in front of your wife.
In order to gain her. Boy, stop. Hold on. Stop right there. Listen, when we come forward, we going back to Brooklyn, New York. This is on fire. This ain't about Marvin Sapp. What I'm saying is there's a larger picture here. Listen, we can't treat the church like Uncle Chester, who gets to come to Thanksgiving. Y'all know you can't leave them kids in there with Uncle Chester. Y'all know that. But he still get a plate. Big Mama say he can come in. Big Mama, y'all, okay, make Uncle Chester a plate. Just don't be in there with him by yourself. We can't treat the church like that now. There's a bigger picture. And the brother, Alexander, from Brooklyn, New York, is cooking when we come forward. Back to Brooklyn.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
I found out that one of my players was vaping. I brought him in and asked him, where did this stuff come from? He said, it's bigger than you think, coach. He had told me that almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in, and I said, hey, you as parents need to do your part. You guys need to figure out how, why, and when this stuff is happening, and we got to get it fixed.
Coach Sanchez and his team took vaping head-on. Learn how he and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Alone in a room, it's just me and you. I feel so lost, 'cause I don't know what to do. Now what if I choose the wrong thing to do? I'm so afraid of disappointing you, so I need to talk to you.
I follow you up to there, but doesn't that lead us to a paradox? That the people who listen to you, who come to this school, who listen to you in India or California, do they not regard you as a signpost in a pathless land?
I've always said there is no authority, including myself. I'm not your leader, guru, and all that nonsense. I really mean it. For me, that's an abomination. To me, that's the original sin. If I can so put it. Each man must be a light to himself. Right? Because
Wait, hold on. Krishnamurti just be dropping so many jewels so casually. He said, I think men leading other men in spiritual matters is an abomination and is the first original sin. He said, every man must be a light unto himself. The interviewer is asking him, well, what about all the people who follow you? He says, he doesn't like it. That's not what he wants. This is so powerful stuff. Man, this is heavy. Let me just get my caller back on. I'm just ruminating on the great Krishnamurti. Alexander from Brooklyn, New York.
Again, I'm here.
Man, you're giving us an example of church hurt, right?
Yeah, it's deep. I mean, I can say I wasn't the only one. I know plenty of people who went through that. I mean, what got me was that I grew up thinking there's something wrong with me because I did face depression. Yes, I know I didn't smile a lot that most people who face depression did, and I just withdrew. So people thought there was something wrong with me. That was even called demonic, even though they were calling me to do speeches and things of that nature. And I was pretty good at that, which is very confusing to me at the same time. But back to this pastor. What really woke me up was one day during that time I just told you about with the logo, I lost my job and everything. But at the same time, I was getting offers from Chicago. I'm from Texas, not Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn.
No, I heard the Texas on you, but go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I was getting offers and attention from ad agencies in Chicago, and being excited, I told Pastor about it. This man, I've never heard this man yell so loud. He said, if you ever leave this church, you will be cursed.
Whoa.
God made you for me in this business, in this ministry. Because I had a lot of talents. I still do. And one day I just woke up and I just said, no, I can't take this no more. And I left.
Wait, how long did you deal with this type of treatment?
From the age of 8 years old to 28.
So 20 years. This is abuse, man. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just a smidgen of what I would deal with from a weekly basis. And I mean, it was weird. It was like not being accepted by the people of my age group, and then the people older than me was like I had all this unwanted attention. Then anything I did was looked at with question mark because the girls were praised more and the boys were just, it's like that. Boys are made of puppet doll tails, girls and all that kind of stuff, that mentality. So, but anytime I would do it, it was looked at as questionable. I left the church and came back when the pastor died because my mom asked me to come back. There wasn't a lot of men at that church. I mean, going in that environment, no real self-respecting man is going to hang around there. So I came back with my mother. But my mother was deep under that spell. It was crazy. It was arguments.
Let me ask you this, though. When did you decide to say, you know what, I'm going to go get some therapy because I think I'm hurt?
I'm getting to that.
Okay, but you ain't got all day is what I'm trying to push you along.
No, man. No, sir.
Yeah, I got you. I'm trying to keep you on pace, brother.
I left the church after an argument with my mother, and I started getting into metaphysics. And I just turned my back on it, studied, then my life got better. I moved to New York. My career started getting better, but then I started seeing remnants of that mentality. So that's when I went to therapy back in 2018, and I'm still dealing with it.
Wow. So 2000 is when you first went to therapy. Am I correct?
2018.
2018, so relatively soon, or it wasn't that far ago, maybe 6 years ago at the most, right?
Right.
So what has been that, how has that process been, and what have you learned from it?
Well, I learned that we all have our starting points. We all have our dragons we have to face, and that was one of my dragons that I had to face early in my younger years. And it drove, even though I love God still, I love God. I love spirit to spirit world and all that.
What happened to you in the church ain't got nothing to do with God.
I know.
That's some broken men. you know what I mean? That part don't have anything.
But
go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to see what's not to understand what is.
Right. Wise words.
So that's what my mentality was. It's like, you see, it's like dating. You own like, oh, she got this, she got that, he got this red flag, this. But what about what I like? And I started leaning on the things that made me happy. So I went to the beauty, went to things that I genuinely loved in life, and I focused on that, and that's where I found God.
Love that for you, brother. I love that for you, brother. So when your mother asked you to go back to the church, did you abandon your metaphysical studies, or did you incorporate them?
No, this was before the metaphysics.
Got it.
This is before. And then when I left, metaphysics has always been around in my life. My grandmother was heavy into it, but she believed that I needed to find it for myself.
Right.
And she was like, it's going to be through your art.
And
now
go ahead, I'm listening.
Sir?
No, go ahead, I'm listening.
Now my art is metaphysical, and I get all these opportunities. I have an art show this weekend in the city, in Manhattan.
Awesome. But listen, stay with me, brother. I want to ask you a couple more questions before I let you go. When we come forward, we're going to go back to Brooklyn one more time, then we're going to go to Pittsburgh, where the brother Blaze is at. I mean, this is a very interesting conversation, and it's all sparked from Close the Door. Ushers, close the door. When we come forward, more from the VOR.